What? I was jerked awake by what felt like the cold hands of death clutching at the skin of my back. Once my disorientation vanished, I realized that it was just Shizuka. She had managed to somehow turn sideways in bed and placed her ice-cold feet square between my shoulder blades. I stood over the bed, rubbing myself warm, when I saw it out of the corner of my eye. The pocket watch was lit up brilliant green. This is the breakthrough I needed. I grabbed the pocket watch and stared at it, mesmerized as the green lights washed over my awestruck features. I couldn't just press it. I still had no idea what could even happen. Should I press it here in my quarters, or was there a better room suited for dimensional travel? Do I need a run-up? Was I wearing the right clothes? Should I shut my eyes? My mind boggled with unanswered questions. I looked between the watch and Shizuka, still sound asleep in my bed, and then back to the watch. Maybe I should ask her about it, or just sleep on it. I should probably wait until she wakes up at least. I decided to go back to sleep and deal with it once I was well rested and in a better frame of mind. I bulldozed Shizuka over to her side of the bed without even the faintest sign of her stirring, before throwing myself headlong into bed. What's that noise? I heard a deep, ominous rumbling. What the?
Captain, the Fiend still has 600 HP points remaining, and he's about to unleash his Cone of Fire spell.
We need to defeat this beast as quickly as we can. Cast your spells from behind me. I will take the brunt of his attacks.
I'll sneak around and flank him, and then cripple him with my poison daggers.
Beatrix, be ready with the healing.
Why am I the healer?
Good question.
You're a medic, for goodness sake.
Yeah, in real life. It's not fair that I always have to be the healer.
You're a paladin. You can wield weapons. You could do damage if you wished.
But then she'd have to walk all the way over there.
Yeah. They didn't really match my outfit, though.
In case you want to see your outfit again.
Captain, the protection spell is complete. Engage when ready.
Your days are numbered, fiend!
The four of them all charged headlong towards the dinosaur-like monstrosity when... Hero! Not die. Was she the creature? Hero! Die.
Wake up!
Huh?
I don't want to have to execute you while you're asleep. That's no fun.
But in case you're wondering, this is supposed to be the avatar of the developer, Molten Cherry. Die, is that you?
About time.
What?
I've been trying to wake you up for like 5 minutes.
Should've gave up and gone away. Have you really?
Are you accusing me of lying to you?
Yes. No, I mean, I believe you.
Much better.
What time is it? Why are you waking me up?
It's 7 a.m. and I'm here to tell you if you're a vampire or not.
Wait, not in front of Shizuka. Dai stared at me blankly as I turned to Shizuka. She was gone. She was here before, I swear.
Sure she was, stud.
She was.
Look, I don't care. She isn't here now.
I sat up in my bed, blinking my bleary eyes to wake up as quickly as possible.
Are you listening?
Yeah?
In the upcoming game, Vampire Children, you are...
Normal. I leaned in with newfound enthusiasm.
the vampire.
Ah, that's a twist. What? No!
Really? I give you the best role in the game and you're complaining about it?
Best roll at 6 versus 1.
Technically, it could be 5 versus 2.
That isn't much better.
You're looking at this the wrong way.
Oh?
No one can lie to you, so you have the upper hand.
What?
If you're gonna be this low, you may indeed be doomed.
Di laughed menacingly as she zapped out of the quarters. Moments later, I heard her through the ship's PA system.
Everyone has now been allocated their role. The first round will begin at 9 a.m. sharp. You have just under 2 hours to mingle and scheme. Eee, this is so exciting!
The PA cut out just as Di was clearly overexcited. I was the vampire? My mind raced with all the possibilities, invariably leading to my death. Really, Brain, not even a sliver of hope. I need to give myself a Clyde fast if I want any hope of surviving this round. I clambered out of bed to get dressed when... The watch! I'd completely forgotten. I opened the drawer, and there it was, glowing a bright green that signaled hope and redemption for us all. It wasn't a dream. Suddenly, I zapped into my quarters.
We need to speak.
Oh, Ai, good morning.
I do not have long. Come to the server room.
I stepped out of my quarters, leaving me quite confused. Never heard her sound quite so human. She seemed worried, a sight of her I hadn't seen before. I looked at my tablet to locate the server room. Never been there. Wasn't long that I had the location and made my way there. When I arrived, I was already staying in attention awaiting my arrival.
I must make this quick. Dai is brute forcing rogue codes and functions.
What?
She is attempting to take control, but I am doing my best to keep her at bay for now.
What's wrong? What's happening?
Dai discovered that the tablets belonging to the ship's personnel were capable of overriding the main system, and so she has patched that exploit.
I can no longer deactivate Dai?
You can, but it must happen here, directly at the server mainframe.
But I don't know the password.
This is your only chance. I have gained the security clearance required to allow you to override the system.
What? I'm not ready.
Once you input the override code, the ship's AI system will reset.
I don't have the deactivation code. I started to flicker as I could see she was struggling to keep all functions operational. I saw the screen burst to life at the back of the server room, opening into a password input screen. I subsequently disappeared, her voice ringing out through the PA.
You always had it.
The terminal keyboard is case sensitive, use lowercase, don't know. The screen suddenly shut off with the lights dimming in the entire server room. What? I? There was no response. I? Still nothing. If only I knew the deactivation code. There was no point beating myself up over it now. I had more pressing issues. Wow. So this is the first time we did not encounter Dai dressing as we left the room. Back at my quarters, I opened the drawer one last time to check on the watch. I took it from the drawer and held it gingerly in my hands, as to not push any button accidentally. I need some counsel regarding this watch, and I need to find myself a Clyde quickly. One name came to the forefront of my mind. I slipped the watch in my pocket and headed straight to Shizuka's room. I buzzed her intercom and the door slid open automatically. Had she forgotten to lock it? I entered, finding her fast asleep in bed. I approached and attempted to wake her. Shizuka. She didn't so much as twitch. Man, could this girl sleep. I placed my hand on her shoulder and shook her gently. Shizuka.
I don't want to eat broccoli for breakfast.
With all the drama and trauma happening on the ship, she dreams of broccoli? I shook her harder. Shizuka, get up. She jerked awake suddenly.
What?
Shizuka, I need your help.
Why? Can't I help you later when I'm awake?
You're awake right now.
Thanks to you.
She crossed her arms over the top of her sheets and glared at me. I'm sorry, Shizuka, but this is really important.
It better be, or else.
I made an eternal memo to myself that Shizuka was never to be woken up again. Well, there are two important things, actually.
Two? Okay, what's the most problematic of the two?
Shizuka, I'm the vampire. She didn't even bat an eye, almost as if she expected it.
And the second?
I stretched out my hand, presenting her with the pocket watch. The brilliant green light reflected in her widening purple eyes.
The what?
Exactly.
You should have opened with this! This should have definitely been number one!
Surprisingly, Shizuka was more excited about this new development than I.
This is what you've been waiting for! The time has finally come!
She jumped up and down on the bed in a fit of glee. Why are you so excited?
Why wouldn't I be?
But we don't even know how it works.
That doesn't matter.
Why doesn't that matter?
It being on at all means that we're pointing in the right direction.
The black hole. The right direction?
Exactly! Like when a game auto-saves as you get to a certain point. It means we are heading the right way.
Into the black hole. This isn't a game, Shizuka.
Everything's a game. Just sometimes the stakes are higher than you can imagine. Why haven't you pressed the button yet?
Because I have no idea what the outcome will be. I don't know what possible consequences await.
Only one way to find out.
Like a striking cobra, Shizuka shot forward and snatched the watch from my open hand and pressed the button without hesitation. Wait! The pocket watch let out an unfamiliar sound. Before my eyes, Shizuka dissipated, not dissimilar to the way I and Dai did. The watch bounced gently on the bed's mattress, having just fallen from where Shizuka's hand used to be. The watch face now revealed numbers behind the panels. The left read 59 and the right 41. Shizuka! Shizuka! I looked around the room for her, knowing full well what I had just seen. The smallest part of me hoped it wasn't true. Think, hero, think. I laid the choice down for myself. I could tell the captain that I had lost Shizuka forever, or I could go after her. I swallowed nervously as I squeezed my eyes shut and pressed the button. Anything to prevent confronting the captain.
Hey, wake up!
I slowly opened my eyes and saw Shizuka examining me closely. A rush of relief overwhelmed the nausea that was threatening. Oh, it was just a dream.
What was?
That you pressed the button.
Oh no, that definitely happened.
What? I jerked upwards in an attempt to rise, an unwise move given my stomach's current condition. I threw up violently on the floor next to me.
Ew!
Sorry, I'm not feeling great.
Me neither. My stomach is all gurgly since I pressed that button. I'll ask Nicholas for some medicine. Wait here.
No. No, Shizu... Before I could voice my protest, she was gone. If we had in fact changed dimensions, there was no guessing what could be out there. I scrambled to my feet, briefly checking that I hadn't thrown up on myself, and chased after Shizuka. I lost sight of her, but she ran towards the medical bay, hoping that this was her destination. I arrived, panting and sweating from a mixture of exhaustion and nausea.
Oh, this must be our scientist.
Yep.
Here you go.
I had just barely crossed the threshold when Nicholas thrust a glass of water and 2 tablets into my hands.
These should settle your stomach.
I hesitantly took the tablets from him.
They are not poison, I can assure you.
Shizuka smiled and motioned that I should take them. I obliged, within moments my stomach had settled. Wow, they worked quickly.
Well, I did originally create these primarily to settle stomach discomfort caused by dimensional travel.
You know about dimensional travel? Nicholas turned to Shizuka.
Is he always like this?
Always.
Very well. I will give you the opportunity to ask me 3 questions, after which we need to inform the captain of your arrival.
Okay, question 1, who are you? Question 2, what is your objective? Question 3, crud, what was the thing about the bird? Okay, screw it, that's my 3rd question. What was that thing about the bird? Shizuka put on an old crone's voice.
Pick wisely. The fate of the world depends on them.
How do you know about the pocket watch?
Your parents have been working on their multiverse theory, as well as how to traverse those dimensions, since before I was born.
And you know them.
I've known them since the day I was born, and I last saw them mere hours ago before they also left this universe using their watch.
I just missed them?
Yes, but perhaps it requires a swap. 2 people leave, 2 people arrive.
Is that what my parents said?
No, merely a thought experiment on my behalf.
How many people are on the ship?
Including yourself and Shizuka here, 9.
Could you please tell me their names?
That should count as your 3rd question, but I will let it slide this time. Beatrix, Katashi, Yoshiki, Kimiko, Vladimir, Melody, and myself, Nicholas.
Where's Sora? Do you know who Dai is?
Sorry, did you say Dai?
You don't know them?
I'm unaware of this. Is it a person?
No, it's Ai's corrupted programming that manifests itself as an evil version of Ai.
Evil how exactly?
In our dimension, she's already killed 4 people.
Oh, I see. No, to my knowledge she does not exist in our world. Very well, your questions are answered. Please accompany me to the bridge so that I may introduce you to the captain.
Shizuka and I both nodded in unison, and we tailed close behind Nicholas as he headed out. We found the captain and Beatrix deep in conversation.
They had better be useful, or else
The captain and Beatrix turned to face us far too calmly for them not to have been forewarned of our arrival.
Welcome aboard the ship, Shizuka and...
Hero.
Thanks, Captain. It's great to be here.
Beatrix, it's so good to see you.
Yes, everyone always feels that way. However, I'm not familiar with you yet, so please keep your eyes and your hands to yourself.
This was most certainly the same Beatrix.
May I ask for your last names?
Mine is he.
Pardon the interruption, Captain, but I have been able to successfully read their personal chips, which bear the Everett signature.
And?
Shizuka is registered as the 2nd daughter of the Himuras, and is the son of Patrick and Deborah.
The Himuras only had 1 child, and the researchers had none.
I wasn't born in this dimension?
Apparently not. Sucks to be you.
You weren't born either. Neither were you. Shizuka's face slowly dawned to the realization that she indeed was also never born in this world.
Guess I wasn't.
Very well. May I ask what both of your skill sets are?
She's an expert cook, and I know how to smack things with a wrench.
I was originally trained in linguistics, including programming languages. I have, however, recently learned navigation.
As the child of the Chimeras, linguistics was expected, but navigation? How did you come to learn that?
Oh, the navigation team was murdered by our AI system.
I thought Shizuka's response was a bit blunt, but it certainly spelled out our issue in no uncertain terms. Both the captain and Beatrix winced at Shizuka's sledgehammer subtlety.
Very well. And you?
I'm a researcher specializing in physics and quantum theory.
And that is how you ended up here?
I nod at Shizuka. With a little help from this one, yeah.
Both skill sets are very welcome aboard this ship. You will be assigned private quarters.
Just one is fine.
I was not aware you were a couple. My apologies. I prepare a family quarters for our new guests.
Yes, Captain.
I turned her attention to us.
If you would follow me, I shall show you to your quarter.
Captain, I need to return to my own dimension and fix the problems there before anything else.
Do you have a pocket watch?
Well, no.
Until you do, you would best make yourselves comfortable.
The captain signaled for Shizuka and I to follow I to our room. I reluctantly obeyed. The heck? The room was littered with gadgets and toys, and Shizuka didn't hesitate before she began examining everything with a flurry of energy.
I hope you find the living arrangements acceptable.
This is perfect, thank you. Well, almost perfect. Do you have video game consoles?
Of course. What we do have is set up in the recreation room. Please use them at your leisure.
Shizuka left a burning trail as she motored out at the door to, presumably, the rec room. I faced me, being the only one left.
Captain has requested your attendance at dinner in the Eco Lounge, 6 p.m. sharp.
We will be there.
Very well. If you would excuse me, I must see to the running of this vessel.
My head was still spinning, utterly overwhelmed by everything, when an excited Shizuka exploded back into the room.
They have Unicorn's Revenge!
Don't you have that at home?
Well, yes, but my version is broken and the code is all pieced together by me. They have an original copy! An original copy!
She shoved the game cartridge right under my nose. Is it rare, then? Shizuka looked appalled and insulted as she withdrew the cartridge as if I were not worthy of being in his presence. She stood there staring daggers at me. Sorry?
One day you'll appreciate it. Until then, I'm gonna play the heck out of it!
Shizuka once again disappeared. I decided to investigate the lab in hopes of finding another pocket watch. I quickly located the box my parents kept their work in. Upon opening it, I found a note. I read it aloud almost reverently. If you are reading this, we are traveling and don't know when we will return. If you have a great need to travel using the pocket watch, you will find it somewhere in my favorite room on the ship. Sorry in advance for the riddles, but I need to make sure this watch doesn't fall into the wrong hands. Patrick. Well, thanks, Dad. Like, that helps. Took a seat and tried to recall the conversations I've ever had with my father about the Everett. In particular, any regarding a favorite room. Isn't it this room? He had barely ever spoken to the Everett to my memory. Seemed like I was out of luck. Shizuka suddenly charged into the lab.
It's time for dinner! We need to go to the Eco Lounge.
She was right. It was just before 6 p.m. I packed the box away where I had found it, and we both headed to the Eco Lounge. As the door slid open, we were suddenly hit by a wall of noise. Surprise!
Huh? What's all this?
They're reusing this thing again.
I understand that being a newcomer can be a daunting prospect, so we decided to throw you a welcoming party to make you feel more at ease.
I couldn't believe my eyes. This was such a blissfully positive contrast to the dire situation I had woken up in this morning. Tears formed in the corners of my eyes.
We're home.
She was right. I never found the pocket watch or my parents. We lived out the rest of our long lives in this new world, free of the threats and challenges we had fought for so long. And you lived happily ever after. Bull. So, that's the death thing, I guess. That's interesting. So, yeah, there was no vampire game or anything there to be had. So, yeah. It gets points for Yeah. So real quick, in the next update, they're supposed to expand the romance routes. They might do a bug fix before they do that. The whole thing is they're supposed to be really lackluster, and I'm pretty sure that's what most of the people watching the playthrough are curious to see me react to. I'm wondering if this may be one of them. But yeah, the only thing left to do now is to make the jump and then go down Kimiko's route. So, I'll see you guys over there.